Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
I am the first one. I'm the first one. Not Billy, not Steve, not Nick, but me. Episode 116, the Friends and Rivals podcast, coming at you live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Stone Cold Steve Wojtowicz.
Ooh.
Rikishi.
Nick, can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Arena.
wow. You all should have heard us 5 seconds before we came on air. It was hilarious.
You'll know you would know exactly what that was all about if you did. But you'll never know.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna put this at the end, right? This is like after show stuff.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stay tuned. Maybe you'll get a little insight.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab my thong.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ugh, I just actually envisioned that, and it made me want to cry.
Well, we saw Rikishi in this thong. I mean, that was wild.
Was that called the stink face, right? That's what that move was.
I believe that was. I believe it was.
All of our teams are not playing. They're all on summer vacation. This is and there's just all this fucking speculation going on Twitter right now, and it's the absolute worst dead time for fucking hockey. At least in August, when it is dead, you get some signings, you get a little bit of action, maybe once or twice a week. This is there's nothing. It's all speculation.
Conference finals are happening.
It's just fucking brutal. Well, yeah, there is hockey going on, but Jesus, are they even serious? I mean, I guess you could say the Eastern Conference final could have gone either way, right? Those 2 overtime games.
It's a series until the home team loses.
I agree.
So tonight and tomorrow will dictate a lot to see in terms of how deep they go.
Right, but I got a question for you. When is Carolina? Did they like it makes sense that Rod Brindamore is the coach of this team because he came from the Flyers organization that doesn't understand that goaltending wins in the playoffs. And if you have 2 goaltenders, you don't have one, right? That's the saying.
Yeah. And
flopping back and forth between Anderson and Raanta is just proving the point that if you have 2 goaltenders, you don't have one. Why is he flip-flopping? Was it to give Anderson a break after a 4 overtime game? Was that the mentality there?
No, they've been doing that all year. It's not. I think it's just to throw a different look at the Panthers. They haven't
goalie style.
Yeah, they don't seem to be completely sold on either guy.
What, Anderson gave up 2 goals in 7 periods in game 1.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have done it, but I don't think it was that
what
bad.
What look do you have to give him?
I mean,
the point is here that I think this is the Achilles heel of the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs is goaltending. And if they're going to fix it, it's not going to be Brindamore's coaching. It's not going to be because their offense is not good. It's not because their defense couldn't score or hold the lead or protect the lead. It's goaltending. It has always been goaltending. And if Carolina is going to fix this, they need to fix it in net.
I don't know.
But can you just change, like Nick said, you've gone the whole season playing this way. Can you just all of a sudden in the playoffs just go, Freddie, it's your net?
Yep, absolutely.
100%.
It's yours to lose.
Yep. Assuming somebody takes the reins there, and got to ride the hot hand.
Makes most sense. I mean,
but they lost, so is that the hot hand?
Matthew Tkachuk is the hot hand.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you lost the game, so how could you say we're going to ride you because you're the hot hand, even though you lost?
You could play well in a loss.
Exactly.
I didn't watch
exactly.
the game.
That's what I thought. No comment from anybody. Good. I
I was
win.
just
Next
commenting.
topic.
What?
I
I
was-
agreed with you.
Hello,
I know.
Is my
I'm
mic
I
also
win.
with you.
Hello.
I win. Next topic. Go.
I don't know. I'm having a mental block with Vegas Dallas. I just can't get into that series for some reason. I just can't. I just can't get into it. I'm into
you got to
Carolina,
know
Florida.
somebody at this point. You got to know somebody that roots for one of the teams so you can root for the other team because fuck you, Lenny. I don't want the Stars going to the finals. So you just got to, and fuck Carolina. I don't want Carolina going to the finals because fuck you, Randy.
Randy, you're a sickness. You're a fucking sickness.
Steve, I don't think you have much to worry about. Florida's kind of a team of destiny right now. They've been just playing out of their minds. And, it's not recent. It's been a while. I mean, outside of Edmonton, they were the hottest, they were the hottest team in the NHL coming into the playoffs. But we all knew that Edmonton was not a playoff team. Obviously, they can't play defense. But this team, they got everything, man. They were, a year away removed from President's Trophy.
Yep.
And then they traded Huberdeau away, and then they got Kachuk. And honestly, I thought they did pretty good in that trade because Huberdeau was, almost 30, and Kachuk was just turning 23 or 24. I mean, signed to a long-term deal. Yes, they
definitely won that trade. If you're going to grade it.
My favorite new thing of our podcast is Nick trying to pronounce last names. It's my new favorite fucking thing.
Nick,
the past couple of weeks, he has butchered some names.
Who was the defenseman that went from Philadelphia to Arizona?
Well, that's Bill.
Oh,
that's Bill. That's
Bill's not me.
That one's Bill.
Just figured maybe.
But yeah. Anyway, so my point was that this team is really good. They have plenty of good players. Barkov's a freaking Selke nominee. And I say I mean like top 5. He's not just nominated. He's fucking great. And by the way, he had one of the prettiest goals I've seen in quite some time.
Unreal.
A fake between the legs, go backhand, absolutely fake out the goalie.
That was brilliant.
In the playoffs. Was that to tie the game? Was that I can't remember if that was tie the game.
No, that was to give them a 1-0 lead, and then Carolina tied it late.
What a fucking goal. And that guy is just, their team is just playing out of their minds. Kachuk obviously on fire, 2 overtime fucking goals to win it, 2 games in Carolina. Now they're home right now playing. If they win tonight and go 3-0,
and they got Bob Skorsky in net, right, Nick?
Well, yeah, that was listen, for as much as Carolina can't figure it out, Bobrovsky has really answered the bell. And
he's always been a good goalie.
Yeah,
he's always been a good
he's
goalie.
always been a very highly paid goaltender. I'm sure he's gone through his own thing, but I wonder if Spencer Knight did not get injured, would he have even dressed for any of the playoff games early? Because that Lion guy started the playoffs.
Well, he wouldn't have been up though, right?
Yeah.
If Knight doesn't go, and I think it was the substance abuse program or some sort, and it wasn't like an injury.
Was it really? I thought he got injured.
No, he wouldn't have even. Lion wouldn't have even been playing.
Huh.
But I thought it was like something to do with mental health, like the mental health program.
Listen, I'm sure you're right, but how much did we make fun of Bobrovsky all season long for being this overpaid goaltender, and now he's proven that he deserved every bit of that contract. Even if they don't win the cup and they just make the finals for Florida, I think it's I think that contract is worth it.
Oh yeah, this team is one of those teams that they should have been in the finals. Last year they were amazing. They were great, and then they fell apart. But this year, it took them a long time to figure it out. They made the playoffs. What, in the second to last game of the season? They barely made it. And
Carolina on the last day of the fucking season could have put them out of their misery.
And now they're gonna get fucking.
And now they're gonna get maybe even swept.
Yeah. So not only that, but you had. Oh, actually, no, they couldn't have lost in then. It wasn't the last because they're already in. They were already in. They were in before the Isles and the Penguins. But whatever. Anyway, the point being, they are.
No, they won that game against Carolina to make the Penguins game meaningless.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so this team took all this time to figure it out. They got there finally, and they almost even lost to the Bruins. By the way, we all know that was a team that best team, regular season team ever, and a complete team. And they put them all the way to game 6, and Marchand almost ended the game with like
that last second, right? Yeah.
Under a second. Bobrovsky made that save. That save is going to be the fucking save.
That's the spark plug. That's the spark plug.
In overtime, win game 6, win game 7, knock out the best team, knock out. They played after that. Not Devils. They played
Toronto,
and they just like cruised,
steamrolled Toronto. I think they lost the first 2 games. Was it?
Doesn't matter.
I think they only lost one game.
Yeah, they only lost one game.
They lost the first game. I think it was, and they won the next 4.
I think they were up 3-0. I think they were up 3-0.
Yeah, they were 3-0.
3-0. Okay,
yeah. It was a steamroll. It was a steamroll.
And now they're gonna if they beat Carolina tonight, they'll be 3-0 on the second best team in the Eastern Conference before they even get to the West. I mean, honestly, the West, Dallas and Vegas are good teams, obviously. I don't know if they're going to have any fucking success against this team if they continue this trajectory. I mean, how the fuck are you going to beat them? They're playing like Maggie Chuck is running out the door 2 games in a row. Like,
that was awesome.
That was incredible.
I mean, how insane is it to do it once, but to do it twice in the same run? And they're obviously having fun. They're gelling. I mean, listen. I think we're having this segment later, but we've talked about. If you played hockey with teams and all of a sudden you start to gel, it starts to become fun. You start to do well, and all of a sudden it just all clicks. And that's clearly what's happening right now. They're just firing all cylinders, and I don't know if they're going to be stoppable at this point. I mean, if they win tonight, it's going to be really hard to get to beat them. Just getting out of the East was a fucking challenge because of every killer team in the East. But I don't know if the West can do anything about it. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Bill, what were you going to say?
What do you mean?
Were you going to say? I thought you were going to. Oh, okay. So let me ask you, as it relates to our team, specifically Tom and I, does this mean Brunette maybe wasn't that great of a coach? Does this mean like maybe the shine on him has kind of worn off a little because of the fact that they're having success without him? So maybe it really wasn't his.
But is Paul Maurice that better of a coach?
I don't think it matters. It's just sometimes the team just works.
But maybe he didn't have that much. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he didn't have that much to do with their success.
No, but I think it's a little bit more of addition by subtraction by getting rid of Huberdeau and whoever the other guy was.
Uyghur.
And getting a Matthew Tkachuk, So maybe that's not addition by subtraction, but it's it changes the chemistry and the complexion of your team a little bit. And I think that maybe has more to do with it than Brunette.
And I said
go ahead.
I said all year they were, I didn't like the trade for Florida. I thought they were giving away a lot with Huberdeau and Uyghur. And I mean, through the first several months of the season, it was playing out like I kind of expected. Florida was, didn't seem like they were that relevant. And I mean, now Tkachuk obviously with the 2 overtime goals to start the conference finals. I mean, he's put me in my fucking place, that's for sure. But
everybody,
Bobrovsky.
not just you.
I think Bobrovsky was this kind of guy. I mean, So to the next point, I mean, something's just happening. They're gelling. They're just hitting their stride at the exact right time.
Brunette's being tied to Calgary now, with obviously because of Huberdeau and Uyghur being up there to give them a jump start. And you know what? It makes perfect fucking sense for him to go up there. Makes
if he wants
a
to
lot
transplant,
of sense.
if he wants to move his family.
Well, listen, I mean, Calgary. I mean, you can offer a coach anything you want, right? But it's getting Huberdeau to play like that 100-point guy he was in Florida again. And I think they want to catch lightning in a bottle with the guy who coached him, right? So. We spoke last week a little bit about the Penguins and their GM search and what could happen in Toronto and all these little crazy little things that could get Mike Sullivan to the New York Rangers, which again, don't think is going to happen. But Kyle Dubas was released by the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Penguins have asked for permission to speak with him. Bill Dubas coming over. I mean, you got to think he keeps Sullivan, even if Toronto releases Sheldon Keefe. You still got to believe that Mike Sullivan's going to be the coach. And you know what? He's gone on record in the Pittsburgh media saying that he's dedicated to this team. He wants to stay here. All the things that you expect a guy who's under contract and currently coaching the team to say.
Well, yeah, he's not going to say anything different.
No, of course not. What the fuck did you want the guy to say?
Even if he has a boner to go coach the Rangers, which I don't think is the case. I mean, he's obviously not going to say anything different while he's under contract. But he has been a key in the GM search. That FSG is leaning on him and looking to him for guidance going forward. So it would be a pretty stunning turnaround to see him out of a job because he would presumably hire the person who would not want to help hire the person who would not want him to be the coach. But yeah, I mean, there are I mean, Dubas rumors are going on from a lot more teams than just the Penguins, but there has been kind of the rumor that if they were to hire Dubas, he might even go into the president role, and they might look at somebody else for the GM role in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot up in the air. No decisions have been made, but it's a long shot to see Mike Sullivan, go, because he helps bring in somebody that doesn't want him to be the coach. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But like I mentioned to you guys, sometimes those crazy Ranger rumors just end up stupidly happening, despite all common sense. So I sure hope that's not the case.
Well, this has been interesting because it's that quiet season we were saying before, and the noise out of Toronto lately, or at least from the beat writers, and Friedman was mentioning this today too, that Dubas apparently wants full control. And apparently there was speculation because maybe it's just people making this shit up, but also, I mean, Dubas getting pushed out. He wanted Shanahan out. He wanted full control.
That wasn't going to happen.
Not going to happen, right? Obviously. So what happened? What happens if he goes and says, I want full control where I go? And maybe Penguins go, you know what? Hey, here you go. He's the guy.
I'm not sure how much is Fenway Sports Group. How much do they know about hockey? How many hockey guys they got in there to know what the frig is going on, right? Why do you think Mike Sullivan's been so instrumental in finding the guy who's going to be his friggin' boss?
Yeah.
But look at Dubas. He looks like a giant nerd, man. He's young, giant nerd. And they're like, hey, this guy's going to win us cups, and they're just going to hire him, give him all the money, give him all the control, fire everybody they want to, and someone's going to do it. I don't know if it's the Penguins, but I get the feeling that if there's smoke here, that this is actually happening. Maybe it's going to happen. Maybe that's what happened there, and he just was like, oh, I want time off, blah blah. It's really just a bullshit, and it's just like, give me all control, give me a shit ton of money, look what I did for you, and pay me now. And hey, someone's going to do it because there's not a lot of good GMs out there. There's only a handful of really good GMs, and he makes shit happen. Whether or not they had success in the playoffs, a lot of shit's happened. He cleaned up a lot of things in Toronto after Lou left, and he made a lot of moves. And I think that's kind of what people look at. They look at those impactful things, the amount of trades they make, and he made a lot of fucking moves. So I mean, it could happen.
How many moves were like forced though, especially this year? How many of those moves came down from the top saying we got to do this?
Well, contract year, right? So he had to.
Yeah,
could be. Yeah, that could be with the relationship with Shanahan that you're talking about too. Yeah, I mean, how much he was pulling the strings on Dubas, and I think he might be kind of relying on that perception to kind of shop his worth going forward. But to your point, Tom, about what does FSG know about hockey? I think the one thing that we're going to see when this GM search is over is that as a entity that is mostly a baseball entity at FSG, and the way things have gone in baseball with just the sheer push on analytics, just a blind push on analytics above all else. I think that's the kind of guy you're going to see if it's Dubas or not. I think a heavy analytics guy is going to be running the show for the Penguins, as opposed to a guy like a Brian Burke or a Ron Hextall.
Yeah, but and I think that's why Burke was brought in there, because he was a hockey guy. It's the same thing what Dolan did actually with Sather back in the early 2000s. Dolan doesn't know a shit about hockey. He thinks he knows a lot about basketball, but doesn't know jack shit about hockey. That's why he brought in Sather, to kind of hand him the keys to the castle and go, okay, do what you need to do in here. You're the hockey guy. And I think the Fenway Sports Group is kind of on that same kind of notion. That's why I think they brought Burke in. They wanted Burke to be that guy that they can hand the keys to the castle to and say, okay, build it. But I mean, that was doomed to begin with. And I mean, if we all said that was doomed to begin with, it's shocking that they couldn't see that.
Just, you guys, to come back to your point though, Dolan doesn't know shit about any sports. Just,
okay. Maybe I was
doesn't know about music, doesn't know anything about cable companies.
No, doesn't know anything about cable TV, doesn't know anything about anything.
We just gotta put that out there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Despite the Knicks' success in the very
he had
near
nothing
recent,
to do with that.
There's 20 plus years of just absolute just disgustingness there. Okay, so let's just gotta put that out there. Sorry, have to
agree.
And I saw something. Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement. Really? He was still viable.
He didn't play, so pretty much he didn't have a choice. He didn't
it's
play
like Yager coming and announcing he's retiring from hockey.
My first thought was
Yager's still playing.
He was a good player, a career all-star.
Yeah, but there's things on Twitter today saying, should his number be retired? I'm like, what did he do in New York?
Where? Not in New York. Maybe in Denver, but
he had one playoff year. And if memory serves me correctly, he sucked in the playoffs that year that they made the playoffs. The Knicks.
Yeah, it's like revisionist history. Like, he was very good scorer. Yes. Amazingly good at shooting jump shots and all this shit. But
okay, I got to put my foot down. Are we talking basketball now? Are we talking basketball?
Zero success.
I thought we were talking about Yager.
Okay.
Just saying. Sorry.
Well, Yager was in Pittsburgh this week. Why the hell was Yager in Pittsburgh this week?
I didn't know he was in Pittsburgh.
Visiting friends. The guy can travel.
Had you not been on the shitter for the past 2 days?
He's pretty wealthy. He can fly about the world.
Yeah. Yeah. They say fucking Peter Laviolette is on the is either at or near the top of the Rangers list to be coach.
Oh, good for you.
I fucking hate this
Good
news more than you can possibly imagine. If Peter Laviolette is the coach next year, why did you get rid of Gallant? Why? Just so you can have another guy give this a shot? Chuck Knobloch is the guy. Chris Drury, hire Chuck Knobloch.
He is an avid listener, so I bet you he's listening.
Yeah, well,
very intently right now.
It's been proven everybody listens to the show.
That is
everybody.
It's true.
All right, that's going to do it for the professional portion of hockey for tonight.
Certainly not the professional portion of the podcast.
Because we are so fucking bored, we are bringing back the top 5 list, baby.
The top 5 again. I just can't wait to do the top 5 again. The life I love is making top 5s with my friends. And I can't wait to do the top 5 again.
They are back.
We were going to have a 45-minute episode tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, tonight's top 5 list comes from our own Bill Fougere, who suggested that we give our top 5 personal hockey moments. Could be a game, could be us playing, could be anything surrounding hockey that was very memorable. So, Bill, you are going to lead us off then.
Oh, okay. Well, my number 5 is one that happened just a few weeks ago when my son scored the double overtime championship winner for his Woodbridge team. Yeah, that was my number 5.
I figured your list was going to be littered with Casey stuff, by the way.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, as much as I like the Penguins, that's my favorite team. Is whatever team he's playing for. Got to admit.
Nice. All right. Who wants to go next? I'll go next. My number 5 is actually the only professional hockey game that's going to be on my list, and that was getting to see Gretzky score a hat trick in the playoffs. I think as a hockey moment, personally, that almost trumps almost just about everything professionally. Nick,
Jesus Christ, number 5. I didn't think I had 5, to be honest.
You don't really like hockey, huh?
you hate hockey.
Christ.
How about almost
hockey.
killing Michael Peck on the Long Island Expressway? I mean, that's got to be on there somewhere, right?
No, that's actually higher up there because that's kind of like that's a combo. It's a combo thing. It's that's a lot. That's just further down the list. Don't fucking spoil it, you bastard. I think just playing hockey as a kid. I'm just gonna go in general. Like I played a lot of hockey in my neighborhood as a kid. I just found people. I just played, took a ball, my stick and the skates, and just skated around with like maybe my neighbor, maybe somebody else, and just found people to play with. That was like a memory, a core memory, as the millennials will say, or zillennials, whatever bullshit. Anyway, that was kind of my thing. I would just do that. I would skate around, find random people playing hockey, and as we were kids, it was prevalent all over the place, and meet people that way. So that's my number 5.
And my number 5 is kind of a general one as well. It's every Condors championship we ever won, specifically ones that we all won together. And another Condors memory is there was a player that played with the team. His name was Anthony. He played maybe 2 seasons, and it's this weird thing, like when you've never played with somebody and you line up as a defensive pairing with them, and like you gel the instant your skates hit the ice together. For some reason, he and I just played so well as a unit, as a defensive pairing. I've never had that kind of chemistry with another teammate ever before, or ever before that, or since then.
Oh, thanks. I lined up defensively with you
Yes.
sometimes.
Exactly.
No, I appreciate that.
No, exactly. That's exactly my point.
Okay,
I get that.
My number 4 was the 1996 World Cup of Hockey. I make fun of the call because I was never an Emmerich fan, but when Monty broke the tie, holy shit! Yeah, that was a great one for U.S.
Hey,
hockey.
you know what? Canada may have invented hockey, Bill, but USA perfected it.
Everybody knows
Sure did.
this. Everybody knows this.
knows
There's brilliant marketing people.
We in my number 4 is when we played at Extremes for roller. We used to do those Ironman tournaments. And there was one tournament that we played where it was, I think, either the semifinals or the quarterfinals. I scored an overtime goal, and it was just a fucking great feeling. It was better than I
remember
thought
that
it would
one.
be. It was fucking amazing. That is like one of my, like when I think about roller hockey, I think about that moment and scoring that goal, because
I was concussed on the bench.
It was all of us. It was great. What's that?
But you remember.
I was concussed in that game.
Were you really? I punched Steve in the
during that
face
game?
in celebration.
Yeah.
I know that.
wasn't. But I remember watching you score, and I started crying because my head was fucked up, and I just started crying at the bench, like. And then I played the next game, and then I played the next game too, and I scored a goal in that game, completely concussed. And for 6 months, when I sneezed, I just put my head down for like 10 minutes and suffered.
I didn't even know I hit Steve. I didn't even know I hit you in the face until like it was after the game and we were packing up. You're like, I was like, what happened to you? He's like, you fucking punched me. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That was when I probably had a visor on at the time too. Like that was before we wore cages. Yeah. Nick?
Oh man, 3. So you're gonna make me think back to this Ironman tournaments. Number 4. It's a 3-on-3 tournament. It wasn't at Extremes. It was at in Edison.
What, Inman?
Inman.
Inman. Yeah, in Inman. And I remember because it was really memorable because basically I think Marinkovic reached out and was like, "Hey, you want to play this tournament?" I was like, "Sure, I got nothing to do for that weekend, whatever." And getting there, I expected to get housed. Like I thought we were gonna I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. And I remember, was it Jimmy Schultz? I think.
Yeah.
Shaking it up.
Yeah. Jimmy was playing with us, and he was on fire. I played fantastic defense. Markovic did Markovic things. I can't remember who else. I can't remember.
Blew kisses and got penalties called.
Yeah. He didn't he didn't do things that would mess up the play. He just played well. Everybody played well. We won the whole tournament. I think Jimmy won the MVP of the tournament. I think I got like best defenseman or something. I don't know. It's just like one of those things where like everything just clicked.
Fell into place. Yeah.
It shouldn't have, but it's like one of those games and you guys remember Jimmy playing when some days, like I remember when we first started playing, he wasn't like that great. He was okay. When I started playing the Condors, and then all of a sudden a couple guys left and he became like our focal point of offense. And he just was like, there's some nights he just had like 4 or 5 goals. Just, if he wanted to, all of a sudden just
skate right by you. Just turn the jets on and just right by anybody.
It was that ability to score. And I mean, like, not just like you shoot the puck on that, it goes in. Like you just pick corners going, opposite corner, full speed. And you're like, how the fuck did that go in? Like, how did you make that shot? And he did that all tournament for that whole day. And it was like ridiculous. And it was just awesome. And I remember being like, this was just such a fun time. Like very rarely does that thing happen. It was great.
Number 4 for me is the years 96 and 97, having season tickets. That was like just such a unique experience, being able to devote 41 days throughout the season. Yeah, throughout the season to go to 41 games in a season was a very unique experience. And that's the only time in your life you can do that is when you're in your like early 20s.
Yeah.
And just don't have any responsibilities. So that's number 4 for me is, it was a disappointing season in 96 coming off the cup. They didn't make the playoffs, and then 97 making the playoffs. But those couple of years right there when I had the tickets.
Who did you go with? Is he in jail now?
Did you write that down in your planner?
So my number 3 is a 2009 Penguins Stanley Cup win. Marc-Andre Fleury lunging out to block Nicky Lidstrom's last second bid to tie. That's my number 3.
Man, oh man, I wanted the fucking Penguin, the Red Wings to win that too. I was pissed off that the Penguins won. Anyway, sorry, Bill. My number 3 was actually playing street hockey back in the old neighborhood on Karen Place in Edison when I lived there. And we had a guy down the street. His name was George Altz, and he was the hockey guy of the neighborhood, and he got everybody together. We played in a snowstorm across the street across Durham Avenue where we grew up. And there was this big parking lot in an industrial park that had just a couple of light posts, and we played hockey at night in a snowstorm. I was the goalie because I couldn't really skate, and it was just fucking awesome. That was my beginning of loving hockey, and it was incredible.
How many fights did George and Eddie get into that night?
There was a lot.
Yeah, of course
a lot.
Of course,
there was a lot.
Of course it was. Nick,
number 3 is one of my favorite Islander goals of all time. Sean Bates penalty shot in Game 4, 2021, 22, 2002, 2001, 2002. He's saying 2020. 2001, 2002 series against Toronto. Down 2 goals, 2 games to 1. 3-3 game 4, Isles at home. Nobody had lost a home game at that point. And Sean Bates got pulled down on a partial breakaway. They called a penalty shot with like 2.5 minutes to go in the game, tie game, and at home. And Sean Bates, who had just come out of nowhere as, the Lucky Sevens line just added Mark Parrish, Michael Pekka, Sean Bates. They all had sevens in their numbers. And they basically just had a great season. They just all gelled. Michael Pekka being probably the real focal point of that, but Parrish scoring, I think, 30 goals that year. Bates played fantastic all season. Bates comes down and just roofs it over Cujo's, I think it was on his blocker side, and the whole place just erupted, and the team mobbed him. Everybody knew the game was over at that point, dead puck era. So they were able to keep the game,
tackle the other team when they got
tackle
the puck.
everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't matter. Just tackle.
There was no
They weren't calling
penalties.
anything. It didn't matter. But man, that was like watching in my dorm room, just like, going crazy. It was awesome. It was one of the best moments I can remember as an Oilers fan. Like that up to that point, because everything up to that point was pretty much shit. My earliest memories are like, Turgeon, Steve Thomas, and then Turgeon getting, destroyed by Dale Hunter. And then terrible years, and then that was the first playoff kind of experience that I could remember for a long time after 92, 93. So that was really a big one for me.
Number 3 for me is just the countless games I've been to with you three, just any friend, just getting together with a bunch of guys and going to see a hockey game. I know that's another general one, but that's something that's just, they always wind up being the best nights.
My number 2, I have a lot that I didn't make my top 5 that would have included the Condors. I would have included my time as a Rangers fan and all sorts of stuff like that. There's a lot of great hockey moments over the years. So I just want to acknowledge. I won't go into my honorable mentions, but yeah.
Thank God.
But my number 2 is going to be the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, the upset over the Soviet Union. I was 4 years old at the time. I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to sit here and tell you that I vividly remember everything as it happened or anything like that. I was way too young, but I do remember, it was broadcast at night. And so like my dad came home from work and was like, we got to watch this game tonight. We're all watching this USA hockey game tonight. And I didn't really get the significance of it at the time because we were the USA. Of course we would beat everybody. I didn't get the whole David and Goliath thing, but it just remembering just kind of vaguely watching that in our living room. And then, just understanding the significance of that more and more as years went on, just being really glad that I was told to sit down and watch it.
Now, if memory serves me correctly, that game was actually played during the day.
Yep.
And then aired at night. Do you know if he knew the result of the game?
Yeah. Isn't that what I said?
No, I don't.
Not well. Yeah, he came home.
He came home.
You just said he came home
knowing...
and said you got to watch it all. You didn't say he knew.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, and he knew the result. He had heard the result, and that's why when he came home, he was excited to
even
get us
more
all
excited to say we got to watch. Okay,
we're watching this.
Yeah, no, they're just details to the story. You can leave them out if you want. Tom,
my bad.
My number 2 involved Billy's years as a Ranger fan. There was one year in particular, though, that he said, I have tickets to the season ticket holder event because he did take over his season ticket holders for his dad. And we skated at MSG. And that night, skating on the ice at MSG and being on ice level and kissing the ice and that whole night was just such a memorable experience. It was amazing. It was an amazing.
You know how many people bleed on that ice? That's
I would have fucking
sweating.
I almost licked the ice.
People
Your tongue would have got
that?
stuck to it.
That's egg. You know what? That's fine. No problem. Would have been all right. But we took countless pictures that night, and Billy threw me in the fucking. He checked me into the bench, and
3 weeks later, you got him back,
great.
getting them developed.
Good old days.
Nicholas?
Nick, number 2.
Number 2. it would be the previously alluded to Toronto Islanders game, first game back in New York after the Isles lost to Toronto previous year in 2020, 2001, 2002. So this is the 2002, 2003 season. So the game was, so why it's notable is that in the previous playoff series, Darcy Tucker took out Michael Pekka and early in the series. I forget which game it is. I think it was game 3, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. Maybe it was game 4, 5. I can't remember which game it was at this point. But nevertheless, so a lot of bad blood. When I say he took him out, he went real low, took his knee out, blew his knee out. Pekka needed to get knee surgery and then subsequently shoulder surgery for a different injury. And he didn't come back he was late into the season. He was really not the same guy right away. And every Islander fan had marked down the first time they were playing in New York against Toronto. And it was like, if I remember correctly, it was like December 6th or 7th. It was right around my birthday. And I got tickets and I was like, I'm going to this fucking game. And we went for my birthday as like a whole thing. My parents, Tara came, and we just I think I got my jersey there, like my Isles jersey I still have today, my Dave Scatcher jersey. Pretty sure I got it at the game. Or maybe it was later. I don't remember.
Dave Scatcherd's mother doesn't even have a Dave Scatcherd jersey.
I have Dave Scatcherd jerseys. I love Dave Scatcherd. Third line center are the best. Anyway, game was out of control. The Coliseum was fucking just so loud. Every time Darcy Tucker was on the ice, he got nailed, and everyone fucking went crazy. Isles won the game. The place was absolutely the best place I ever watched. A live game, by far my favorite game I've ever seen. I don't think I can top it. It's just not really possible unless I go to like a Isles, playoff
Like a
win or
Stanley
something.
Cup game, yeah.
Stanley Cup. Yeah, exactly. Like I just went to an Isles Carolina game in person, watched the Isles win, lose the series, but they won the game. It was cool, it was great, but it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like not even nowhere near it. And after the game,
To be fair, Nick, it was a fucking road game you went to just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's not like you went to a home game and the atmosphere wasn't great. You went to a road game and they lost. So
I gotta say, it was very awkward, by the way, going to a road game, being one of probably 100 people out of 16,000, home fans. Very strange.
Yeah.
I was very happy Ben was there with me to
protect you.
Protect me. Anyway, so the best part of that whole thing is, though, we're driving back. I'm in the car with Tara, and she's driving in her car because I didn't have a car at that time. So she's driving, and we get to this light, and we have to make a left, and she's like, or we have to go straight. Actually, we're in the left lane. We have to go straight, and she just is like in the wrong lane. She got too far over. And I'm like, you gotta go straight, And she's like, all right. And so I look over my right, and then I'm like, I'm gonna tell him he's the guy next to us, like, we're gonna go this way. And it's fucking Michael Pekka. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, and just as I notice who it is, and he's giving us the go ahead, like, go ahead. And just as the light turns, Tara goes and turns left and just is like, fuck this, and just goes and makes a left. And I'm like, Tara, you just cut off Michael Pekka. And that moment lives in infamy in our household because even Tara's hearing me right now, and she's yelling at me like, "You fucking up!" And I'm sure
you cut him off, sweetie.
I'm sure that I definitely didn't help in that situation, but it was a memorable night all around, and we had a good time.
I can't wait to hear the Michael Pekka recap of this incident on his podcast.
I'm gonna try and get him on one day. We'll see if he remembers.
That'll be sweet.
I'll be like,
yeah. Do you remember me out on Long Island? I was the one who cut you off. Oh wait, that happened every fucking night after the game because people on
don't
Long
you remember?
Island
I was the one who sent you cutting. Oh no.
Hey, people remember weird shit. I don't know. That's most things.
I'm sorry.
Like,
wait,
why the
Tom?
fuck did you turn?
Tom. Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed what you said. Could you repeat it?
He said, "Oh, don't you remember me? I'm the one who sent you Counting Crows CDs." Nick's laughing. That's all that matters.
All
I don't give a
I
shit.
just
It was hilarious.
Number 2 for
Linger
me.
longer.
Number 2 for me is goes along with number 3, but this one I have to dedicate to my wife. I am
Aw.
so lucky to have a wonderful friend who became a girlfriend, who became a wife, that enjoys hockey and loves to go to games and lets me go to games on my own or with friends and doesn't yell or complain or say anything bad about it. She just loves hockey. She loves going there and being in the arena, and just she really gets into it. So I'm just very thankful and happy, and I really cherish that aspect of our relationship.
How
that was
lovely.
very sweet of you.
Well, Bill, before you
Way
do
to go,
number one,
Tina.
if you have any honorable mentions, I mean, you
No,
can say a
no,
couple.
no,
You can say a
no.
couple.
no. Number 1, go.
Number one is my second Casey moment on my list when he played his Bantam season and won their league championship by beating a team in the finals 3-2 after that team had started the season beating them 7-2. They ended up playing them in the finals and beating them 3-2. And
This was
Yeah.
not
was
not
my
just a
favorite.
league championship, right?
it was
Wasn't that- thought it was
his
the
travel
state.
league.
I thought that was the state championship or something, no? Or was that a different?
No, it was the AHF. It was multiple states really. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Maryland,
Again,
Maryland to New Jersey for the AHF.
more important details that you're just leaving out there. A much bigger deal than just a league championship. But yeah, I remember that. That was one of my big regrets in his career, was not just forcing myself to go down there and watch that game and capture it.
I mean, you are his father, so you might as well.
I might as well have been there. I don't know how it is.
As well.
So I have, before I get to my number one,
No,
I have an honorable
come
mention.
on.
Jay Hutchinson's mouth is an honorable
Oh,
mention.
that's not nice. That's you can't.
And a
This is supposed to be a
dishonorable
good
mention,
list.
a dishonorable mention would be all those fucking Sunday 11 p.m. games.
How is Jay's mouth not a dishonorable mention?
That was
You
fun.
knocked
Hold on.
out all
That
of
was
his
fun for
teeth
me. I don't know.
practically.
I don't know how fun it was for him, but
Oh my
it
god.
was a wonderful
we-
memory.
Yeah, Sunday
we-
11 o'clock games were not fun.
Can we just commiserate on that? I completely forgot about those, but those were bullshit. Who
Those
the
were
fuck decided that
brutal.
was?
The
a
scheduling
good
in
idea.
general, the schedule not getting made until the week of the game would be up there.
Listen,
too.
those 11 o'clock games, they didn't start until what?
Oh,
quarter to 12?
quarter to
Oh.
12, yeah.
Quarter to
Yeah.
12?
Yeah.
It was so fucking brutal.
Running late
Uh,
every single game.
But
Brutal.
you know, my number one took place after the 11 o'clock games at Chimney Rock Ice Rink. And that's where that same guy from my old neighborhood, George Altz, who has been a family friend since I've been alive, was the closing manager for Chimney Rock Ice Rink in Bridgewater, New Jersey. And we would go and skate there. Steve would go, Billy would go. We would skate there till what, 3, 4 in
yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
It was just 4 hours of just nonstop skating on ice, and it was amazing. We did it at least twice a month, at least
yeah.
once a month. It was and that's
And
I mean,
getting him,
that's really
just
like
having George skate around you with ease it wasn't humiliating at all.
no, I mean,
No, yeah, it was
listen,
great.
this is where we honed our skills. I mean, what little of that it was.
Oh, God.
But
Yeah.
this is where we enjoyed it, man. It was those were probably without question, that period of time where we did that was the best.
Nick?
Well, my top memory of hockey of all time easily is winning Junior Olympics in over 18 in 2021. 2021. First year back from college, and I'm getting back together with my group of guys I used to play with. Tom and Steve got to play with them a couple times when we were playing in Kendall Park, and the first time we all played together, you guys were like, "You guys are it's just too fast."
Yeah.
That's all I remember you guys saying. And yeah, that rink was really fast, but in general, they were everybody we played with was really good. But I joined the team again. I was like, well, I didn't go to nationals with them this is ball hockey, before, like right before we all graduated high school, because I just didn't have a good thing with the coach, right? And came back to the team. I bought new skates. I had these stupid Bauer rocker skates, which I don't know if you've ever remember these, but they had these dumbass.
yeah.
Okay,
I liked
bought
those.
these. Okay, so if you have never seen them, they have in the middle, 2 wheels in the middle, had like a little rocking system where like basically you're always on 3 wheels. You go forward or backward. And I bought them right before I was doing like tryouts, which was really just like come sign up for the team. And the coach was a new coach, and he like basically was like, this kid can't fucking skate. I couldn't stand up. I was caught every time I had to turn or do whatever, I fall down. So eventually, after a couple practices, I tried to get this to work. I just tightened them to the point where they couldn't move and
Couldn't
made them like
rock.
real skates. Dumbest shit ever. He thought I couldn't skate. We played, all the games prior to like for regionals, and then we didn't make nationals, and we end up making qualifying for Junior Olympics. So we go to the Junior Olympics, and we fucking drive up there, get there. It's a 5-hour drive to Rochester, 3 of us in there, and we get there at like 11 o'clock at night, and we find out half the team is broken down in a van 2 hours away.
Ugh.
I, who has been like, if you guys know me, I'm like a night owl. So I'm like, I can drive, let's go. Me and my buddy whose car it was, we drove 2 hours back, meet them at a shady ass fucking Dunkin' Donuts. It's the only place in town that we stopped at that had like lights on. Get them, drive back, back to the hotel. Like it was basically light out at the time we finally get back. We try to crash like everybody in one hotel room for about 2 hours, get up, go play the first game, lost that game. Just nobody had any energy. We all took a nap, played the next game, managed to win the second game, and then completely turned it around after we went and just had a nice night. Like like half the guys are all over 21, went to strip club. The rest of us were playing cards. And then, because we couldn't go in, obviously, and then we just didn't lose a game the rest of the time. And I had the starting goal in the championship game. We played this team that we lost to the first game we lost to was to the team we were playing in the championships. I think they were much better than us, but they just clicked like we did. They all clicked. Everything worked. And my first shift out there, I threw a shot on net just that the goalie wasn't expecting. Started the goal run. We were up 5-0 halftime, and then we ended up winning 5-3 at the end. We just held on. That team was fucking good. They just ran into a bunch of schmucks that just could all of a sudden score goals and just get it by and make it all happen. And it was like the best time. Like every night we partied hard. We had we drank every night. And then last night I one of the few nights where I got completely hammered and just woke up on the couch in one of the hotel rooms. We have like all these pictures from my buddy who he passed out. They drew all over him, doing whatever they wanted, all this crazy shit to him. And it was like one of those great times. Drove back and hung over, got home and went back to our lives. But man, it was like that microcosm of like 3 or 4 nights. It was just
catching
hockey,
lightning in a bottle. Yeah.
All hockey for 4 days straight, whatever it was, drinking and partying and just everything clicked. And it was the best time. And we beat some really good teams. And we would never do that again.
Just for those of you who are really paying attention to the podcast, what year was that actually, Nick?
2022. Or 2002. I keep saying 2020.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it wasn't 2022, as you had said originally.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
2000. I'm pretty sure it's 2001. Actually, no. Sorry, 2001. First year back from college. Yeah, I think it was 2001. Yeah, that's summer.
Okay.
My bad.
Just clear.
We got it. We're getting there.
Okay. So my number one happened in the year 2097. It was April 17th, 2097, to be precise. being in the arena when Martin Brodeur scored a playoff goal.
Oh wow. That's a
That
good one.
rink could get loud, as the playoffs progress, it would get louder, obviously. That was a first round game, and I don't think I've ever heard a building louder than when that goal was scored. So that's my number one.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's top 5 list. We will, we're probably going to have one again next week.
No, we're good.
We absolutely are.
We're
And the
good.
topic is going to be
Thank you. We're good.
top 5 hockey memorabilia you own. Could be a jersey, could be something. Top 5 hockey memorabilia that you own.
I love it.
We're gonna do like a show and tell, or
I mean, if you want, I mean, look around the room. I mean, in
My
my
number
room.
one right here.
Oh,
Number one right
no
here.
question,
Nice.
without a
Oh,
doubt,
nice.
an honorable mention, no doubt.
can't wait for the week after. I heard the list is going to be top 5 segments that piss Steve off. This is
Hold on, let me write that down. Top.
while you're writing.
segments
Let me introduce everyone
that piss
to Trivia with
Steve
Bill.
off. Got it.
Yeah.
Patty. Sorry.
This is gonna be. We're gonna get back on track. This is gonna be so fast. This is so easy. Okay. The
Wayne
question.
Gretzky.
No.
Damn.
Paul
it's not-
Coffey.
we're not looking for a player. Okay.
hockey
The
puck.
question.
Hockey puck.
No.
Biscuit.
No. We're
Scoreboard.
Goal. Face
the
off.
answer.
Doc
the
Emmerich.
answer-
Arena. Ice.
It's a.
The
It's a
National
number.
Hockey League.
The answer is a number. The answer is going to be a number.
2097.
No, that was a
2022.
great year. That was a great year. Also a great year.
1994.
Another great
How
year.
many
1940.
years?
54.
No.
69.
How many years?
69. Good one, Nick.
It's like the sex act. How many years did
Thanks,
it
Bill.
take the expansion Vegas Golden Knights to reach the Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, it's going to happen this year. So they've been in existence.
Seem very sure that it's going to happen this year. A couple overtime wins. I mean, it's
They,
presumably could be a close series. But yeah, the first time they made the Stanley Cup Finals, how many years have they been around?
do
for?
that. Let's
Yeah.
take that number and you
How
add
many
that,
years prior to that had they been around,
subtract
or including that year?
subtract the
9
I-
months.
I'm going to say it's including that year.
you carry the 4 or
I
do you-
9 months.
I got I got to
Do
give
you
I got
drop
to give
it?
Nick.
is it a
I gotta give it to
remainder?
Nick.
I never
Nick got
understood.
it. Because
No, it's got to
basically
say
it's one year.
exactly on your card.
What?
It
No,
says
it's
9
not.
months on your card.
It does not say
No,
9
it's-
months.
Well, it's 1 year, but really they were only around.
Why did you give us the
Why
answer?
did you give us the
stupid?
fucking answer? That
Because
was
he
wrong.
guessed-
What he said
because
was
he
wrong.
guessed
He
it.
didn't say, he said 9 months.
If he said
But
12
but the
months, okay,
judges
you got to give it
decided
to
to
him.
give
I'll
him
tell you what.
that
Nine
because
months.
I want you to ask any woman who's ever been pregnant if 9 months equals a year.
That's right. It may seem like it, Bill. You insensitive prick.
Dumb shit.
Jesus.
take it up with the
Christ.
judges. Take it up with the judges.
Oh man.
All right, we got another bonus trivia.
No.
Bonus trivia.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
bonus trivia, baby.
This was going to be a tight 45. We're over
Yeah,
an
it
hour
never
now.
had a chance to be a tight 45. So we did last week. We did the
Bonus trivia
We
is
did
right up
something.
there, top 5.
this week is going to be all-time goalie playoff wins leader by franchise.
Martin
There
Brodeur.
are 2 goalies that lead 2 different franchises in playoff wins. Who are they?
Patrick
Marc-Andre
Waugh.
Fleury.
Patrick
mean- you're
Waugh
talking
is
current
incorrect.
players?
Billy, what'd you say?
Are you talking current players
All time.
All time.
all time?
Brodeur,
I'm-
right?
No, for 2. He's looking for
Two
Franchise.
franchises?
2 franchises. He
oh,
never,
I'm still
gonna
he
say-
never won a playoff game with the St. Louis Blues.
I'm still saying Marc-Andre Fleury.
2.
Marc-Andre Fleury is one of them.
And Patrick Waugh is not the other one.
It's the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Vegas Golden Knights.
That's
Patrick
bullshit.
Waugh leads the
Would
Colorado
not-
Avalanche with 81.
Yeah, he would not lead the Canadians.
And
No,
Dryden
yeah, I guess.
has 80 for Montreal.
Um, Is it John Van Beesbrook, Billy's favorite
Oh,
NHL?
I was going to guess that too.
John
Yes.
Van Beesbrook is not on the list.
Okay.
At all for any franchise.
Curtis Joseph.
Curtis Joseph is not on the list.
Yeah.
So it can't be a Penguin or a Golden Knight.
You're right, Bill, because Marc-Andre Fleury was the
Oh, about Roberto Luongo.
Roberto Luongo is not on the list. Kirk McLean is the leader for Vancouver. I couldn't believe that.
I'm going to say Eddie Belfour.
Eddie the Eagle leads the Dallas Stars with 44, but does not lead the Blackhawks.
Okay.
Dominic Hasek.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. Dominic Hasek leads the Buffalo Sabres with 37 wins, but he does not lead the Detroit Red Wings in wins by a goaltender.
J.S. Giguère.
It's those damn original 7 teams that get you.
J.S. Giguère leads the Anaheim Ducks in playoff wins with 33. That's it.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
He went to Ottawa after that? Or where'd he go after
Arizona? No, didn't he go to
Did he?
Arizona? Sean Burke? Probably not.
Never Sean Burke. The answer is never Sean Burke.
Okay.
Unless it
Is
was
this-
the Devils goaltender in 1987.
No.
Is this a goalie in the modern era?
What?
Is this a
Yeah.
goalie
What's
in the
give
modern
give us a
era?
generation,
Yeah.
decades maybe.
70s,
70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Grant Fuhrer.
Grant Fuhrer leads the Edmonton Oilers in playoff wins with 74. But that's it. I'll give you some in the
90s and up.
2000 to present.
Okay. All right.
Present.
It's not like somebody way out there. That's what we're trying to.
It's not somebody
Understand.
way out there.
Okay.
It's somebody you would go, oh yeah.
Craig Anderson.
Craig Anderson is not on the list. Oh, I'm sorry. He is for Ottawa. He's tied with Patrick Lalime with 21.
It's not Patrick Lalime.
No, it's not Patrick Lalime.
Who's a goalie that played for Carolina? And then
Kevin Weeks.
It's not Kevin Weeks for
Kevin
anybody.
Weeks. Kevin's nodding and
Is it Craig Billington?
Craig Billington is not on the list.
Did Henrik Lundqvist win any for Washington?
No, he did not. He didn't even play a regular season game for Washington.
oh, what's his name? No, he didn't play for them.
Sergei Bobrovsky?
Sergei Bobrovsky leads the Florida Panthers with 14 wins, as well as the Columbus Blue Jackets with 11.
Good job.
Sergei
Bill-
Bobrovsky.
Bill with a clean sweep.
Well done, William.
We thought too hard on that
A
one.
clean
I'm watching
sweep.
Bobrovsky play right now, and I'm like,
What's
he's
his
pretty
last
good.
name, Nick? What's his last name?
Bobrovsky.
Very
No,
good.
he was good with Bobrovsky. It was
Very
the Huberdeau
good.
one that really threw him for a
Very
loop.
good. Speaking of Nick,
Huber Goudreau.
and now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Friends of Rivals podcast. You're ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's the 20 questions power play. The rules are simple. The group has 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous player person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. Answers will only come in the form of yes or no. The group will have to make a final guess once they've hit 20 questions or the power play has expired. the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go.
This player associated with the New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
Is this player associated with any of our other teams?
Yes.
Well, that's a
Oh,
waste.
damn it.
Oh, Jesus, Bill. The person associated with the New York Rangers.
Yes.
Person associated with the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No.
Is this person associated with the New York Islanders?
No.
Okay. Devils.
Rangers, Devils.
Did this player play in the 2000s?
Yes.
Did this player also play in the 90s?
Yes.
This player, defenseman.
No.
This player a Canadian?
Yes.
Player, a goaltender.
No.
Is it Bobby Holik?
It's not Bobby Holik. No.
Canadian. No. Didn't he say Canadian?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it John McClane?
No.
Is this player better known for playing for the Rangers?
No.
Did this player win a Stanley Cup with the New Jersey Devils?
No.
Jesus.
This player left-handed?
No.
Okay, ready forward. Ready Canadian forward. And go.
Nigel Dawes.
No.
Walpadubney.
Nope.
Brendan Shanahan?
Nope. All right.
Time.
Last shot.
I got nothing.
Oh man.
I'm literally drawing a blank. But Peter Sikora.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, well, that's all I got. And plus, he would have.
I was going to say Gomez, but Gomez was American. Yeah.
It was American.
American, yeah.
And he was
This
a lefty.
player, 522 goals, 540 assists, over 1,000 points. Pat Verbeek.
He played in the 2000s.
He played in the 2000s.
He played from 82, 83 to 2001, 2002. He won a Stanley Cup
Ah, with the Ducks,
Dallas.
right? Or Dallas.
Dallas with Dallas.
Fuck.
In the crease goal. What was that 2090?
That was Brett Hull.
Yeah.
Pat Verbeek.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Pat Verbeek.
Wait.
Pat,
when's
just in
his
case you
birthday?
didn't know this,
How old is it?
Pat Verbeek's birthday is on
3
a
days
day
from now.
in Y, so that's why you picked him.
That's right. 3 days from now,
What? His birthday is May 25th.
May 25th.
Oh,
what a
I
great
didn't
guy.
even know that, Tom.
What a great
Even
guy.
more reason why you should have fucking known that.
Yeah, like I had no idea I shared a birthday with Pat Verbeek. I had no idea.
Jesus, how did you not know that?
I
One
had
of our
no idea.
hosts had no idea. Can
No
you believe
idea I
that he
shared a
had
birthday with Pat Verbeek.
he had over 500 goals, 1,000 points, 1,400 games played though. I mean, shit ton of games. But that's unbelievable. I had no idea he had scored that many. Well, hey, 80s and 90s, you know, especially
Pat
80s.
Verbeek. All right, well, this is going to take us to the State and Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord. Oh, I'm sorry. Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way.
Pardon me. This one's going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2011. Please go to March 16. March 16th, 2011.
March 16th, 2011 was a Wednesday. I had a granola bar for lunch.
For lunch.
I'm sorry, for breakfast.
Okay.
Lunch
Okay.
was a 7-inch ham and cheese with a 20-ounce Coca-Cola Zero. When I do 7-inch, that usually means that I went to Quick Check.
Oh, okay.
Ham and cheese, 20-ounce Coca-Cola
You
dinner.
didn't have it written down. You went to Quick Check.
It's 7 inches though.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't. Dinner was at Wegmans. So it was probably a hodgepodge of different buffet style foods. And the night culminated with a 7:50 p.m. hockey game at Inman where I scored 1 goal and had 2 apples. That's what the kids call assists these days. Apples.
Good game, dude.
So
Good
goal
night.
and 2 assists. Why did you pick Wednesday, March 16th in the year 2011?
Well, that obviously was the day
I scored
a
goal and 2 assists.
shocking incident took
Yeah.
place.
I scored a goal and 2 assists.
Yes, not so long ago in Russia. A 44-year-old man named only as Alexander K attempted to have sex with a raccoon. The predator bit a big piece of his wang off. Alexander K, a native of Volgograd, could never imagined that his outdoor weekend with his friends would have the most terrible ending possible. It was a men-only party with lots of vodka and dirty jokes. In the middle of the party, the men had a guest from the natural world, which looked like a cat, they later said. It was a cute black and white fluffy animal with green eyes and a gorgeous tail. You know what? I gotta bang it. God, what are you thinking? The unluckiest of men said. We decided to have fun and caught the beast. A friend of mine told me that the raccoon was a kind and caring animal. Where the fuck do they live there that they think the raccoons are kind and caring animals? Since we had no women in the company, I thought that the raccoon could take care of me, the man said.
I mean, if you're not going to have women around, then definitely you absolutely have to go fucking animal. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, I agree. Alexander pulled out his dick and got down on his knees in front of the animal. The vicious raccoon suddenly attacked the man's pecker and bit a large piece of the man's pride. Alexander
Did he get any
lost
cream or what?
almost half of his
Things you don't talk about in public. Jeez.
blood was gushing out of the lacerated wound. His friends did everything they could to help their wounded brother and called the ambulance. Surgeons said that they would not be able to do anything to recreate the twang. They only managed to stop the bleeding and sent the man to a Moscow-based Institute of Urology. We were shocked with what we saw. How could anyone ever think of doing anything like that? He was lucky that the beast was healthy. We examined the body of the raccoon and did not find any rabies. Did they kill the raccoon and bring it?
Sounds like it.
Oh my God. We told the man that he could have plastic surgery of the Willie to have it recreated. On the other hand, he obviously needs to have his head examined, not Johnson. A doctor said, harumph, harumph.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with this shit? It's so disgusting.
And
they-
that's
they
what
recreated.
happened March 16th, 2011.
I'm out.
They should
I got
recreate him. They should give him a metal one if he's going to go mess around with raccoons.
nothing. I'm out. I'm not even participating.
Well, you said it
I'm
was a little
so-
too tame last week, so
I'm so disgusted. No, I'm out.
what would possess somebody to possibly do this?
Well, you're a Russian and you're horny. What are you going to do? They didn't bring
Well,
any women.
it was a men only party, lots of vodka and dirty jokes, but
I'm out.
still,
Yeah. No.
Nope.
it's not enough
No.
for me to want to have sex with a raccoon.
Nope.
I guess there's no bears around.
I'm not playing around.
Well, the bear would have mauled him.
In Russia, we men balls.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Did I discuss you that bad, Steve?
Yeah.
Steve has drawn the line.
I think we crossed it.
This is where you draw the line. Raccoons, not rails,
broke 'em.
not like inanimate objects. Jesus Christ.
You
What
broke
does it all
Steve.
come to?
Oh, Steven is broken. Oh, poor little guy.
Feel like your sex partner has to be within a certain percentage of your body size and weight. And once you go a human down to just a small raccoon, I feel like you're violating that percentage.
What is the
I
percentage?
think the raccoon felt that way too.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, I would be tempted to put it at 64 to 68%.
All right, so big sheep, I'm still good with. Okay, all right, just
For you, it would have to be a big sheep. Yes.
a sick ostrich, allegedly.
What about like a little person?
Again, I feel like if I'm
I mean,
five,
they could be a third of
no,
of you. Yeah,
no, definitely not.
possible.
No, they're like 3.5 feet plus.
they like they're fucking. Listen to you.
They know their
They
pronouns.
little people.
They like they're little people. Steve,
Well, I'm associating them as an entire group of people.
it's
They are
the way you said they. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm not.
sorry, Brian. He meant nothing. He didn't mean what.
I would do that though. I would do that.
All right, that's definitely going to do it for us this week. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at friends_rivals. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read it on the air. And while you're there, don't forget to turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode. Billy, say something witty.
Well, just before we started our podcast tonight, a news story came out that the A's have, in fact, fired Glenn Kuiper from NBC Sports for using a slur. And let me just say this very carefully. All he was doing was sharing that he went to visit the Negro League Museum. I did that all right, right? That's all he did. Just tell people that he visited that place. Fired.
That's all he said?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
All right, ready to go?
Yeah.
116.
116.
Oh man, that's like 200 away from Steve Austin 316.
Wow. Bill, check his math.
That is correct. Okay, you got to put it in the glass breaking
Tom, come on, let's
soundbite
go.
now.
Well, no. Well, listen, Nick just fucking set the bar for you,
Okay.
you, Bill, for your fucking witty comment. Nick just
Oh,
set the bar. It's pretty
I'm
I
fucking
said
low.
real low.
I'm
Really
jumping all
fucking
over it
low.
right now. I'm ready to jump over it right at the beginning. Let's go.
Yeah, trip over it.